What is up, everybody? It's Logan from Survivor LU, and I'm joined from the most recent person voted out, Luke Binkley. What's up, Luke? How you doing?
What's going on, Logan? Good to be here. I'm so glad we get to do this again. This is fun, man.
For sure, man. Well, hey, dude, it was so much fun getting to watch you play this game. Had a ton of fans just rooting for you and stuff like that. So what I want to do is just do a overview of your game, man, as a whole. So we can start out right at the beginning. Tell me your first thoughts walking up to Survivor LU, being a huge fan. What was running through your head?
Gosh. Okay, so I'm trying to remember. This is like a year and a half ago, but so actually, right off the bat, I was like, I kind of wanted to follow Tyson's strategy from Survivor a little bit. Like when he played in Blood versus Water, I kind of wanted to find one person that I could just trust with wholeheartedly, and that I could just kind of be the person I could just tell information to, and then hopefully they can in return do the same with me. So
Yeah,
I kind of wanted to find my Jarvis as Tyson did in that certain
yeah,
season. And so initially, like walking right up, I was like keeping my eyes open for that, and I was trying to be very cautious, just to be a likable person, not say anything out of the box, out of the ordinary, and try to just
yeah.
like make sure everyone likes me. So I was just trying to like laugh at what everyone was saying. I'm trying to make sure that like I'm always in every conversation happening, and um, especially that night after the challenge when we were all talking, I was making sure that I was the last person to leave, and that I wasn't going to leave and like get a target thing. I was just doing everything in my power just to make sure that I was like didn't get a target on my back, because I assumed everyone week one just going to be trying to find some reason to get a
Yeah.
target, like to get someone out. So I just didn't want to give them a reason. So yeah.
What were your first impressions of your tribe as you kind of saw everyone that was wearing blue? You're kind of getting a feel for everyone. What was your thought based on kind of just personalities? If you thought your team would be good with challenges, stuff like that.
Yeah, so initially I thought my tribe was stacked. Like I thought we had some really smart super fans. Nathan right away said that he was a super fan. A lot of other people seemed like really athletic, like Megan, like just a super good challenge beast. And I thought we were stacked until obviously the temptation happened. But initially, right when I got there, I saw David and Nathan were the first two people I saw, and my initial thought was, "Holy crap! Like these guys are cool. I'm growing out with them so hard right now. Like I'm gonna work with these two guys right off the bat. Like
Yeah.
those were the people I wanted to be like my one and two. And I clicked with Nathan a little bit more than David, but I wanted to work with David so badly right off the bat. Like he seemed like a really cool guy, really fun guy.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it just didn't work out that way. I had to kind of go with my alliance and tribe, and he was acting very suspicious that week. But
Yeah.
initially, like meeting Nathan right off the bat, like I knew that was my guy right off the bat. I was like, okay, this guy, I'm with him. Hopefully, we can just work together, give each other all the information. I trusted him 100% right away, and he was just. I'm glad I got to work with him because I had a great time those 50 plus days working with Nathan. He was just, It was really fun from day one all the way up to then.
Yeah, that's super cool that you knew that connection was there right at the jump.
Oh yeah, and just like that feeling you had, like I trusted him
Yeah.
right away as soon as I shook hands with him. It was really weird, but it was cool. I really liked that. Yeah,
That's cool, dude. Well, you said, hey, you thought your tribe was stacked from the start, and then that temptation happened. Whenever we announced that, what was going through your head? How close were you to taking it? Were you not close at all? What did you think your tribe was going to do? What did you think about the Tigress tribe, stuff like that?
yeah. So it didn't even cross my mind to take it. I'm such like a team player. I feel like I didn't think about it all like me take. That didn't cross my mind at all. And I thought that our tribe, I was looking at everyone's eyes and seeing what they were all going to say, and they all seemed like very confident that they weren't going to take it. And I was pretty confident they weren't either. And so didn't cross my mind. I thought that we weren't going to take it. Initially looking at the Tigers tribe, there's a few people on there that seems, I don't know. I just thought maybe like Sam or Nate, just right off the bat, like just from saying hi to them, they seemed like, all right, they already seem a little suspicious. So I thought maybe they'd take it, but I was shocked when you said that no one took the temptation right away. And when two people in our tribe did, I freaked out. I had no idea who took it off the bat. It was bonkers. And that temptation was insane because I firmly believe that if that temptation hadn't happened and two people in our tribe take that, we would have won the first challenge. We were coming back from the start. We caught up to them after we found the dominoes, and the challenge, we were getting all the locks down. Addie Grace said that she had one more combination to try, so if she would have gotten that figured out, I'm confident David and Nathan would have figured out how to do the the puzzle, or I forget what it's spelled out, but so
the puzzle, yeah.
that would have changed the entire trajectory of the game. And it's just weird thinking about all the scenarios that could have happened, because then Tigers would have gone to tribal council, and who knows how that would have affected the next challenge at Hideaway and stuff. So yeah, so it definitely like changed the whole trajectory. But it never crossed my mind to take. I was like so focused, like let's get these group of people going, like let's become a big team and let's just work together always. And like that was going through my mind right at the moment. But when I heard that two people to the clear, I was just devastated. I think I remember watching. I didn't remember like what I did, but I think I like just fell over as soon as I picked up. I just couldn't believe it. But it was fun. It added a little spice to it, and I'm kind of glad that we had that first week, because me, Nathan, Liz, Ben, and Alexa kind of bonded that right off the bat that first week.
Yeah. Well, hey, we can get right into that. We saw that five, the Gihan five, as you would become called, really be the first five that really connected at that first meeting as a tribe, as David, Addie, Grace, and Megan split off. When was it during that week that you realized, hey, this is the five that I'm going to ride with for a while?
I would say it was a couple days into the week. We had met as the entire tribe, all 8 of us, right after, and we were hanging out. Addie, Grace, and Megan left, and right off the bat, and I kind of isolated them very quickly, because as they're leaving, they were talking to each other, whispering, and the 6 of us looking around like, okay, what's going on? It's a little like, this is very like suspicious. I'm just kind of getting up and leaving like this. And then David had to go, and so us 5 just kind of there on our own. And we just started talking, and a little bit of strategy got brought up. And I wouldn't say it was right then and there that us 5 were like dead set and wanted to work with each other, but I definitely trusted them so much more than the other 3 members of our tribe at the moment. And then throughout the week, we got to us 5 met up individually. So I met with Ben once, I met with Alexa, me, Nathan, and Liz met up, and like we just kind of talked. We're like, this 5 seems like the best chances we got. And I personally thought that David and Megan took the temptation or whatever. So I thought like those were the snakes in the out. So I'm sorry, Megan, for thinking, I thought that I was so confident, but turns out Ben, the person in our own alliance, was. But I'm glad it worked out, because Ben, he's a great guy. It worked out, and he was such a solid part of that 5, and wouldn't have been the same without him. So, but I guess really the first couple of days we just bonded so tightly. So yeah, it's cool.
Walk me through, so you knew from the jump that Nathan was your guy. Walk me through kind of your talks with him throughout the week, and just the building and the foundations of your relationship.
Yeah, I mean, really, like I said, the first day when we shook hands, I was in my head, I was okay, this guy, I'm working with this guy 100%. He seems super chill, super cool. Seems like a good friend I would hang out with just at school anyways. And I don't know, we just like connected right away. It was really, really cool. And then we started texting the next couple of days, and then we met up a few times throughout that week, and we realized right away that we trust each other, and I could tell that he was being genuine with me, and I think he felt the same way about me, and we kind of knew that we had a good control of what was going on in our tribe. We were kind of like the 2 people running the show at the moment, and so we just like basically kept meeting up, and me and Nathan, we met up with Liz the first night, and we kind of solidified that group of 3, and that was my main alliance right away. Nathan and Liz, like in mess up, those are the alliance right there. But then Nathan and we met up with Ben another day of the week, and we kind of convinced him that that's going to be our 3, us 3 right there. And then me and Nathan met up with Alexa at the time. We're like, yeah, this is going to be our 3 right here. And so we just kind of went around and like just were, I guess, kind of just controlling we're the little puppet masters of the whole my tribe. But I guess, and it helped us grow closer, because we both knew we had that little I guess we knew that like we were both in control in that certain way, and we knew that if like we had that on each other, that like we weren't going to tell other people what was going on. I don't know, it was a fun, like we had that relationship from the get-go, and it was really cool. So yeah, that was fun.
Coming into the game, did you expect to be in that position after the first week, literally being the center, you and Nathan, of your tribe?
Yeah, I wanted to be in that position, and I was pretty happy with how the first couple of weeks went with Survivor. That was my goal, was to get into my tribe, take control without people knowing, in a sense, and develop a really good alliance. So I didn't know I was going to be in a position, but that was my goal going into it, was to be where I was. And I was pretty happy with how the initial start of the game went. And
Yeah,
so
for sure. So that part was great for you. The bad part was that your tribe just kept losing and losing and losing.
yeah.
So you guys lose the first two immunities. Right after that second immunity, we see a confessional of you, and you're pretty heated at the way that Tigris is kind of showboating and gloating and stuff like that. Walk us through kind of the almost that rivalry that really grew at the very beginning of the game between that Tigris and Gihan.
Yeah, so right away there was no animosity towards Tigris at all. We just knew we were all playing this game and we were on different tribes, and we'll meet up later and see what happens. But
yeah,
in that second week after we had gone to tribal council, we had to blindside David, which was one of the biggest blinds of the season. I felt horrible about it. No one wanted to know David off because everyone loved David, but we just thought that he was working with Megan Natty Grace, and so we had to vote him off in a sense. And so we felt horrible about that. We didn't like we had to do that, and we went to this challenge, and this wasn't shown in the episode, but Tigris brought down this. They all pulled up in the same car. They were bumping music on the way there, and they all rolled out with a little smirks in their faces. And this could just be my rendition of the story, but that's how it seemed like to all of us. It looked like they had little smirks in their face, and they're carrying this poster. And they showed this in the episode. They were carrying a poster with all their baby faces on the poster.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just didn't like that first off, but like it wasn't that big of a deal. And then during while the challenge was getting set up, Sam and Garrett came over to me and Liz, and we're trying to figure out like information on us. Like, does anyone have an idol? They're asking us like questions like that. And then I think they asked why we voted out David. They're just being really suspicious for no reason. And then of course afterwards was the final straw when they started hooting and hollering and celebrating, started doing a little dance around their, in the group. And we're just so defeated. We just voted somebody off. We just lost the second week. And like, I think I said something in the confessional about, I was like, obviously what did I say? I said something along the lines of, obviously they're going to be fine if they keep doing this and we keep losing. But to celebrate and to gloat about it, like right when we're there, just wait till we're gone at least.
Yeah.
That was going through my mind. So as soon as that happens, I think that really changed the trajectory of the game, because in my mind at that point in time, us, Gihan, we were the good guys, we were the underdogs, and Tigers, they were the bad guys, and we had to do everything in our power to take them off. And that's kind of how I'm wired too. I don't know. It's just like I had that like moral good versus evil battle going inside me. I wanted to do everything I can to take them out, for us to go to the top. And so, and I really think if that didn't happen that second week, I think there would have been a lot of changes, because I was the only one that felt the way. Everyone, Nathan especially, he was really upset about that. Alexa, Ben, like they were all very upset by how they acted. And it wasn't that big of a deal, but just the way it happened, I think it changed the trajectory of the game, because nobody really wanted to work with each other after that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's funny.
So we see that, and that next tribal council, or you guys vote off Addie Grace, another blind side where you're kind of, you and Alexa are kind of working with Megan, and then not really. And we see that happen a couple times in your game where you're like, hey, lead people on. Do you think that was a necessary aspect of your game, or do you think that kind of also hurts you in the end?
So like, are you saying like lying to people about who I was voting for? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like kind of leading them on, saying, hey, we might work with you, having these meetings and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I would say that it was a double-edged sword, because I think ultimately at that point in time, it was very beneficial because they trusted me and they thought that I was working with them.
Yeah.
And so it gave me an opportunity to blindside them. So there wasn't an idle played, or there wasn't like moments for them to come and backstab me. But at the same time, that ultimately, like if we look in the future of how I got voted off, that didn't work out very well for me, because I didn't tell Dawson what was going on. Did lead it on. So in the moments at the beginning of the game, that was very helpful, but at the end of the game, it didn't help my game at all. But I'm trying to think overall, it got me to the point that at the place that I was at. So if I don't think I was going to be able to go up to them and just be like, hey, sorry, I don't want to work with you. I had to say something to like Megan, Natty Grace, and So I think double-edged sword is my final answer for that.
No, yeah, for sure. Well, hey, after that,
Mhm.
Megan gets voted out. We kind of see you and Megan start bonding at the beginning of that week.
Yeah.
And we kind of see your viewpoint, how you viewed Megan change. Did that change enough where you were considering keeping her around, or were you pretty certain, hey, like she still needs to go, but I actually like her more at this
Um,
point?
yeah, I would say the second thing. I definitely like we just had like we sat down and just talked for a while. It wasn't even like about Survivor and stuff. We just had a good
Yeah.
conversation. I was like, okay, she's actually cool. She's not the boogeyman. And I think I think we both kind of felt like we were the bad guys. Like Megan thought I was the
Yeah.
bad guy, I thought she was the bad guy. And we sat down, we're like, okay, I was like, okay, she's really cool. She's like someone I'd hang out with at school. She's a
Hmm.
nice person. And but I did want to still get Megan out that week simply because I knew she would flip on us no matter what. And
Yeah.
I just knew like us five were so strong. And if we gave Tigers any opportunity to vote any of us out, we would have gotten wiped out completely. And
Yeah.
that we kind of started gaining that sentiment because Addie Grace, she knew people on Tigers and she had kind of mentioned about how they were kind of going in that certain route and how
Hmm.
they're super strong, super tight. Obviously, there was some conflict on Tigers, but I mean, I ultimately believe if Tigers had gotten the majority, we would have all been wiped out. Maybe one or two people would have stayed alive, but me
Yeah.
being the big threat from day one, I would have had there'd been zero chance for me to stay in. So my mindset with getting Megan out was I don't want to. I would love to work with her, but
Hmm.
she would probably flip because she's a smart player, and so
Yeah.
I had to do what was in my best interest, which was to stay with the strong five. So that was the mindset there. But I didn't want to because we actually connected before I wanted to. I wanted to get her out a little bit earlier, but she was a
Yeah.
good challenge threat and whatever. But no, but that's what happened.
So you say that that Gion five was super strong, but we do see you throw a vote onto your alliance
Yep.
member in Ben. Do you think that hurt you in the end, as we saw Ben kind of pushing Dawson and pushing people towards targeting you, or do you think that was kind of inconsequential, really, in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah, ooh, that's a good question. So initially, right after that happened, we moved on to the tribe swaps and the merge and everything.
Yeah,
It didn't seem like it was that big deal, but I
yeah,
definitely think subconsciously Ben was very suspicious of me in his mind. Um, I don't know where his mindset was at exactly with how late he wanted to work with me for, but I know right
yeah.
off the bat, Ben said that me and Nathan were his number ones.
Hmm.
And so that definitely could have flipped the switches. How like, okay, maybe I shouldn't trust Luke that much, but
Yeah,
in the end, I I shouldn't have. I'm glad I did in a sense because Megan sold the fake idol thing very well.
yeah,
I thought I was convinced she had the idol. I thought
yeah,
if I was a betting man, I would have said she had the idol. She told Nathan and Ben that she had it. She showed them a picture.
yeah,
So I was just like, all right, well, I know she's writing my name down because I totally blindsided her last week. And so it's either me going home. I could take the risk of me I could take the safe route or the hard route. And I decided,
hmm,
I'm going to do everything in my power to get me as far as possible. And so I decided to put down Ben's name just because I
yeah,
felt me, Nathan, and Liz were like that was my core three right there. But then
hmm,
me and Alexa, as the weeks got on, like I became like really, really close with her. And like we were like super, super tight. And so Ben,
yeah,
like I was tight with Ben too, but he was definitely like the last person I think
hmm,
five that I was like the most tight with, I'd say. So that's why I put his name down. I told Nathan, Liz, and Alexa before I was putting Ben's name down. I don't think they
yeah.
told him that. So I just had to do what I had to do. Ultimately, I do think it hindered me though. Later on, just subconsciously, he started thinking, okay, maybe I shouldn't trust
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
Okay, for sure. Well, hey, after that point, we do go into that tribe swap.
Oh yeah.
And we swap into not two tribes, but three tribes. What was going through your head as you saw your new tribe, as you saw that it was that 2-2 split, and then also a 2-2 split on that Gihon side with Ben alone by himself on that new Pashan tribe? What were your thoughts just about the whole entire layout and kind of your position as well?
Yeah. So I was so thankful that I had Liz with me
Mm-hmm.
because if I had Ben with me on my tribe, who knows? He could have been like upset that I voted his name down. He could have voted
Yeah,
me out. It could have been bad. But like I said, me, Liz, and Nathan, that was my core three. I think we all trust each other super well at that point. So I was super pumped to get Liz. I felt bad for Ben. I was like, shoot, Ben needs to win this week or he's done for.
Yeah.
I think it was Nate, Ellie, and Nicole? Was
And
that
Nicole,
the
yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah, Ellie, Nicole, and Ben were on the tribe. And so I was like,
yep.
Ben's he's gotta win this week. But then I started thinking, I was like, wait a sec, if my tribe and the other tribe loses, then we'll go to tribe council and then the votes would go to rocks. It just didn't seem like a good situation whatsoever, like
period, yeah.
But it definitely could have been a lot worse because they had 7. I think they had 7 at that point, right?
Yep.
Is that right? They had 7 and we had 5.
Yeah.
So yeah. So they outnumbered us, and I was just like, this is not good. We're going to rocks if this happens. I'm not flipping on Liz. Liz says she wouldn't flip on me. I don't think Nathan might have gone the rock. I mean, Nathan might have flipped. I don't know. But I just thought overall that it was like we were screwed at that point because somehow one of us is gonna go out somehow, and then they're gonna just pick us off one by one. So I was like, oh gosh,
for sure, yeah.
I need a miracle right now. I need something to happen. I need a miracle right now in order to be fine. And then sure enough,
you had that miracle.
Sure enough, I got a miracle. Yeah.
Dude, walk me through that entire, like when you realized there's this piece of paper. I made that decision. Hey, I'm going to grab all 3. I'm not just going to grab this one that has red on it. Just walk me through that, kind of what was going through your mind, your heart racing, stuff like that.
Yeah, so I was very determined to win this week because I was like, okay, if I need my new tribe, I need to win. I don't think Dawson and Megan are gonna flip. I don't know how safe I am. I'm gonna do everything I can to win. So I was like, and I'm not the best at eating like bad food. I'm a kind of a picky eater, but I was like, I was like trying to go all like focus mode and just like suck it up in order to do it. So I was like grabbing underneath the table to brace for the impact of what was about to happen. And I like felt a little parchment. And normally I wouldn't have thought like it was, I thought it was like a little tag or label or something, but I was like, okay, this is Survivor. This could be like, so I like go down to tie my shoes or something. And then there's a little piece of paper and then keep looking over. There's 2 more pieces of paper. So I plucked down the red one, put it in my pocket. And then I'm just like, you know what? Like, sure, this can help me out right now, but like, I didn't really know what I wanted to do at that point, but I was like I got a little greedy. I was like, okay, well, if there's 3 of them, I'm going to get all of them. I'm not just going to get one of them. And so I was really subtle about, actually, I wasn't very subtle. I don't know why no one saw, but I grabbed the one under Ben, like it was right in front of his like waist. It was really funny. I grabbed it, put it in my pocket, and then after the challenge, just went over and grabbed it and had to go. And this is something that was in the episode. I don't know if I talked about this in my confessionals. I can't remember, but Nathan and Alexa saw me grab the last one. Nobody else did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I had to make a decision at that point. I couldn't, at that point in time, I was thinking I was going to keep the idols all to myself.
Mm-hmm.
But, if I ended up finding the idol, but then I saw Nathan and Alexa saw me grab the idol. So I was like, okay, I need to tell my alliance that I'm finding the idols, and that's my best bet, or else they're going to think that I'm going behind their backs. And so, sorry, I got a little text. Turn it off. Anyway, sorry.
Sweet. So from there, you begin the search immediately after that tribal council, after going back with Dawson. Dude, how much in trouble did you get with your RAs from missing curfew that night? That's what we're all on the edge of our seats.
I got a lot of texts from them, and I was trying to get back around 30 minutes late and make it seem not too suspicious, but I dropped the idol clue, it fell out of my pocket. So I was sprinting back to find it like a maniac. So I was like an hour late. I got a little bit interrogated, but I think I'd used a little bit. I was like on such a like dopamine rush at that point that I was able to kind of have some very persuasive communication skills, if you will.
There you go, yeah.
And I didn't get in too much trouble. They understood. They didn't understand what it was. I had to explain what Survivor LU was, and they're very confused and a little bit. They're like a little bit worried for me. Like they're like, "Is this guy okay? Like, what's wrong with him?" Nah, I was fine. Like it was definitely worth it because I think I dropped the black one. I don't remember what the tribe name was for that, but
Mm-hmm.
I dropped it, and that was the one. That was one of the ones where there actually
You
was no
actually found, yeah,
yeah, I needed that one, so I'm glad I went
yeah.
back and got it. But yeah, so it worked out. It worked out good. We ended up getting it the next day, which is good.
Exactly. Yeah. So we see you and Liz get up super early to start that hunt. Walk us through kind of how long that took, what it was like, and then just how you felt about like sharing all this information with Liz and stuff like that.
Yeah. So like I said earlier, I wasn't planning on telling anybody any
Yeah.
like that was at all, but I saw Nathan and Alexa had saw me grab the clue. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just be open and honest with my alliance. I think they'll
Yeah.
understand. It might put a little target on my back, but at the same time, I could if I give them an idol and like help us get to that point, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be the person who like helped carry this tribe. So they're not gonna be super willing to vote me out right away. At least I thought I could maybe
Yeah.
buy me some time. So I told Liz because she was on my tribe, and
Mm-hmm.
I called her right after that night, and I basically was like, "Yo, we gotta find this idol. Let's go." And she was like, "All right, let's get up early." And we were like, "All right." I was like, "All right, what time?" She was like, "Let's get up at 6." No, I think we got 5. We got up super early. It was still
It
dark
was
outside.
early. Yeah.
Yeah, we got up at 5. I think it was 5, and then we probably looked for like 2 or 3 hours for the one by the eternal flame, the one that
Yeah.
Nicole already
That
found.
wasn't there. Yeah.
I'm still mad at you guys. Why the heck did you put the idol clue that had no? I'm still mad at you guys for that. I spent so much time looking for that thing, but
Hey, it wouldn't
um,
make any sense if we put two of them, but not the third.
I know, but
That's gonna give it away.
think about all the time that we spent there.
And it was fun to watch you search for
Yeah,
3 hours for no reason.
watching us going. Yeah, that's what it was. You guys are equal, is what it is. Okay, but no, we were there for like probably 3 hours, I'd say. Couldn't find it. We've done loops and circles and stuff. And I probably shouldn't have done this. I probably should have just said, all right, you know what? We can't find it right now. Let's just
Mm-hmm.
come back another time and look for it. I'll maybe come a
Yeah.
little bit later. You can come anytime you want. Like, let's look for this later. And I should have acted like that was the only idol clue that I got. Because I had told Liz, I said I found this idol clue. I hadn't told her that I found the 2 other ones. I hadn't told anybody else that. And then, but at the flame, I revealed that I had 2 more idol clues.
Yeah.
And that actually was a little bit detrimental to me because I think she was a little bit mad at me for not revealing that I found the other 2. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that was my first bad move, I think, in the game, was not
Okay. Yeah.
telling Liz that I'd found all the idol clues, or I could have played it off with just telling her that I just like finding the other idol and saying that was the same one, because that would have been a lot better. But
Mm-hmm.
she got a little bit upset with me at that. But we ended up finding the other idol. We had a nice little bonding moment. We hugged. We were like celebrating, cheering, and
Yeah.
then we go look for the other idol by the lake, and we couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. Turns out Liz actually found it while we were looking for it, and she didn't
Okay.
tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she had thought that if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure Liz had thought that you had to reveal. I don't know why she thought, but I think she thought that you had to reveal to like only the person who found the auto clue could get it or something. So
Mm-hmm.
I think she thought that she had to reveal it to me, or else she wasn't going to. I think I figured that out at the end. She planned on doing that. So, but end of the day, Liz and I we reconnected. We both agreed like we're gonna get through this. We're still
Mm-hmm.
each other's like number 1/2s, I guess. Like we were on this trio,
Uh-huh.
and it worked out good. But I think it was the same thing with putting the vote on Ben. Subconsciously in the back of her head, she was like, "Oh, I don't know if I can trust this
Yeah.
guy. This guy didn't tell me everything.
Yeah.
Like I trust Nathan more because Nathan isn't doing all this craziness." I think that's kind of what
Mm-hmm.
because we saw that she said in that confessional on episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Yeah, Nathan, like you're my number one. You're the only person I trust."
Yeah.
And I think if I had told her about all the clues, she wouldn't have said that to Nathan, because at that point in time, us 3 were like super super tight because I told them everything. But
Yeah.
so I was kind of planting seeds of doubt in every single person, every single member of my tribe that week. So
No, yeah. So before we get to kind of the decision to give an idol to Nathan and Alexa. We see a confessional at the end of that kind of episode where Nathan and Alexa are meeting together, and they're like, Luke found two idols. He's playing the heck out of this game. He's going to win. And that's also, we see more doubt in their minds too. Do you think there was any way to stop that? Or do you think it was kind of inevitable with just the way that you were playing? Like, hey, I'm going to get this group of five through to the merge.
I would like to think there was another way, but I mean, there probably was, because it's Survivor. There's a million different possibilities, but I'd already started just kind of like digging this hole of being like labeled the team leader and like someone who's trying, super hard and playing hard, I guess. And so, so I don't know, but the funny thing is that I don't think this was, I don't remember this being in any of the episodes, but Alexa actually told me what Nathan had said. Alexa told me, hey, listen, I'm gonna give you a heads up. Nathan's saying that you're playing really hard. We're gonna have to get you out in the future. And I started planning season. I was like, oh my gosh, Nathan's my number one. Like, he's first not trying, but is he actually saying this? And I don't know. I definitely got more suspicious. We all started getting, as we said, we all started getting more suspicious of each other.
For sure, yeah.
They bonded me and Alexa a little bit more, but I think eventually she would have wanted to get me out too. But we all trust each other. We all wanted to work with each other. We all wanted to get that majority eventually, but we were going to stop at nothing to get there. But there was definitely like, people were like, I don't want to go there with you. I don't know about, I'm not
those seeds were planted that week for sure.
Yeah.
Do you think that Alexa telling you that was really just a way for her to secure you as her number one? Or do you think that she was being legit completely upfront with that?
I don't know. I am not sure. I think Alexa's one of the best. I think she's one of the best people, one of the best players in this game. Like she was very sneaky. She was good with her words. As we saw episode 5, she's just such a good, like, she killed that lie to Elliot, fake idol, and wanted to work with her. So I have no idea. That very much well have done that, but she did tell me the truth in that situation about what Nathan had said. So definitely whatever she did, it worked, because I work with her more than maybe I wanted, leaning towards her more than maybe some of the other people. And I don't know. It's just, I don't know. So maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That y'all
tell us kind of, you and Liz have these two idols. You're kind of working out what should we do with it, the best way to use it. A lot of the fans watching were like, why in the world did they give the idol up, go into the merge with two idols? What was your thought process and just your strategy working it out with Liz?
Yeah, so initially we were not sure what we wanted to do with them. We were going to hold on to them. We were just going to think about it. We were going to see if Dawson was going to flip. Maybe we were going to see if maybe Garrett or MJ was going to flip. We were just going to wait and see what was going to happen. But the more and more we started talking to the rest of Tigress, the more and more our lines came together more. We realized, and Megan said this to me a confessional, that Tigress's plan is to wipe out Wuhan one by one by one until we are all gone.
Yeah.
And her pitch to me was basically, listen, we'll keep you in, but we're going to wipe out everybody, and then we can work together to get other people out.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a goat in this game. I don't want to get dragged along. And at the same time, we all still think that they're the bad guys and we're the good guys after that whole Tiger strong mentality from like this week and everything. And so, like, I legitimately thought, and I'm pretty sure everybody else in my 5-person alliance thought, that there was no way that any of them were going to work with us realistically, unless we were going to get dragged along to a certain extent. So, we just thought the best move in that situation was, listen, these guys aren't going to flip. Let's play an idol and let's see what happens. Hopefully it works out good for us. And if we have to do it to rocks, we go to rocks, but we need to do anything in our power to get the majority, because they're going to wipe us out one by one. So, and I don't like, I still believe to this day that's what would have happened. I don't know if they would have wiped everybody out, but I would have been gone for sure. Alexa probably would have been gone. So Nathan probably would have been gone. But so that was the mentality, the thought process going on there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we saw in that week, like you said, Megan made a really bad move, just socially and relationally. But we see your relationship with Dawson really start to grow in this week. You start meeting with him. You even tell him, hey, I found this idol, I'm going to play it. what was kind of your draw to Dawson in that relationship and alliance, and kind of what was your thought process strategically for that relationship?
Yeah, I mean, I just thought right off the bat, listen, I thought like, wow, this guy's really funny. Like, he's really cool. He's really nice. Like,
Yeah.
just connected with him really well on like a friendship level, and like even
Mm-hmm.
outside of Survivor. I was like, I want to work with this guy. This guy's like fun to be around. He's cool, and like I really like him. So that was
Yeah.
like my process. And I didn't know this. I didn't know what was going on with Tigers, but I just kind of assumed in the back of my head, Dawson's probably someone who has a pull with his tribe because he's very
Mm-hmm.
like um he seems like he would be someone who's in the middle of the situation, like, middle of kind of controlling what's going on. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, well, I'm kind of in that position right now in my tribe. And if Dawson is on his tribe, then we can maybe work together a little bit and kind of pull the strings behind the scenes and what's going
Mm-hmm.
on. So yeah, that was the thought process there. But yeah, also too, I just really liked him. I thought he was cool. So wow, let's work together. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we see Gihan successfully play two idols in that week. Uh, how exciting was it to play an idol, play it successfully, and take out somebody on that Tiger tribe?
Oh, it felt well, I felt bad for Megan because she was like really nice, and there was
Yeah.
not really any reason to vote her off other than the fact that like I just like it was her. It was like there was no other option really. Like I wanted to work with
Yeah.
Austin really bad. Like we were kind of thrown out a little bit, so I was like, okay, sorry man, we got to move you out. But it was really cool like getting to walk up there. I definitely was like really dramatic with how I walked up. I was like, Logan Grace, I have something to play, and like I was just like, it was fun like getting to have that part of the Survivor experience, getting to play an idol.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that was probably one of the more confident weeks I had.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like it was going to work out pretty well. I trusted Liz. Dawson like seemed like he was pretty cool with the idea. Even though he didn't think it was the smartest move for me, but
Yeah.
um, like I wasn't sure if he was going to budge with flipping on Megan.
For
But
sure.
like anyway, sorry, I'm getting off track here. But when I finally figured out that it was 5-5, I was just like I was very excited because I was like, all right, the good guys are coming back. But I was just like happy because at that point in time too, it was like the the four of the people I was working with, like we were all really good
Mm-hmm.
friends. Just like
Yeah.
it was just like a fun group of people. So we were like, all right, we're actually winning this. We're tied to the game up right now, so that's fun. So
Yeah.
yeah.
For sure. Well, hey, like you said, 5-5 going into the merge. The merge
Mhm.
happens, and you call your mom. What was we
Yeah.
saw your mom's reaction and stuff? How excited was she that hey, her boy Luke made the merge?
Yeah. No, she was pretty excited. As I told you guys in the beginning, my mom wasn't so sure how far I was gonna make it.
Yeah, she was
Um,
a
yeah,
doubter.
I guess she was. So I guess I proved her wrong a little bit. But
That's true.
Mom, I love you very much. She had called me after and was like, Luke, like the only reason I said that is because you're like can be a little bit too nice at times. I thought you were just gonna get nice. I was like, I know, mom.
Uh-huh.
I know. But no, it was really cool. She was pumped for me, and
That's awesome.
I kind of like would call every once in a while, give her an update what was going on. So, but it was
Yeah,
that was fun getting to do that.
that's super cool. Well, dude, the merge was that first vote at the merge was a back and forth, absolute struggle between the two sides. 5-5, no one wanted to budge. How
Mhm.
confident were you at different points in the week that hey, maybe we are going to be able to flip someone over? And then sitting at tribal, I think you kind of knew that it was all
No,
but
yeah,
rocks
I
going to happen.
had no confidence throughout the week. There was like
Yeah,
little instances where maybe like 10% of my brain was like, okay, maybe this could work, but there was
yeah,
not a lot of confidence. I think that Alexa trying to convince Ellie was definitely the best strategy that we had because they had already
mm-hmm.
had initial connection beforehand, and Alexa
Yeah,
is just, like she's so good with her words. I think she went to like nationals for debate or something in high school. Like she's like
yeah,
we were like, all right, Alexa, like you got this. Like she was definitely the best bet. I think I don't
yeah,
know anyone else who would have actually flipped on Tigris, but no, I wasn't very confident at all. I don't think anybody was. If you look at all of our faces that way, we're all just like kind of Debbie
mm-hmm.
down. Like, all right, we're going to rocks. We're going to rocks. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that was just an insane. It was a insane, fun week. It was a lot of fun. Like I enjoyed
Yeah.
it was cool at the time. Yeah.
Well, hey, for someone who was taking every safeguard they possibly could throughout the game, putting that vote on Ben, putting that vote on Eddie Grace at the beginning,
Mhm.
you go into rocks where, hey, you have no control over your fate. You're putting your hand in a bag and hoping that it's the right color. What was going through your mind in that moment when you're
So
pulling
mad,
out that rock?
mad Logan. I was mad because I was just like, I didn't understand why Tigers was so willing to keep Nate in the game. I just didn't understand. I was just like,
Yeah,
I was just confused. I was just mad. I was just sad because I was like, all right, well, probably one of us is gonna go. It might be me. It was fun while it lasted, but
yeah,
um, so it was just confusing. I was confused in a sense, but like upset and but I really didn't think it was gonna flip. But yeah, like I said, I've been playing a very safe game. I think for the most part up to that point, I was putting up every safeguard possible to make sure that like
yeah.
there's as less of a chance as possible of me going home. And this is like the one time that I'm kind of just leaving this up to complete chance. And so that sucked. But it ended up working out good. Like that was
Somehow,
insane.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, when the Tiger Center was wrong, that was crazy.
Yeah. Did it ever cross your mind, hey, maybe I should flip on Nathan. Maybe I should just regroup, try to work on this relationship with Dawson and just sacrifice Nathan in this
No,
sense?
no, I
Never.
never crossed my mind. Wouldn't have
Yeah.
ever. I was never gonna flip on Nathan. Never.
Yeah. Did you think anyone else on the Gihan tribe was gonna flip?
I did not. I was pretty confident
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we were gonna stay strong. Had to, and I thought we were all good. I don't know if anyone actually ever strongly considered it, but I thought I we were pretty steadfast and
Yeah.
sticking with our Gion five.
All right. Well, hey, tell me this. If they don't vote Nathan, but they vote Ben, does that change anything? Are you like, hey, maybe I do flip on Ben since you've already kind of thrown a vote at him? You did say, hey, he's on the bottom of the five most likely. Does that change anything?
No, I was still stuck with my
Okay.
with
Yeah.
Gihan. We us yes, even though like Ben in my mind was like the bottom of my list
Hmm.
of my lines, like it was still like he was still exponentially like had more trust from than anybody on Tigers, even like
Yeah.
Dawson. I was not willing to do that. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, we see Ellie draw that rock. We see you absolutely pumped. You and Liz are like absolutely stoked back there.
I
And it was a
appreciate
really heated tribal council. Um, what was did you think that, hey, I've really put myself out there too much after that tribal council? Or did you think kind of like, hey, everybody was kind of going after it? It's all good.
No, I definitely thought I might have put myself out a little bit too much. There was also I think there was a few things that are left out of the editing. I'm not yeah, there was a few like words from some Tigers people said to me, so I was like that were left out of the editing. Nothing like horrible, but it was just like, all
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
they don't like me, they don't want to work with me. Like, dang, I might be burning some of these bridges for the future.
Yeah.
So like at that point in my mind, I was just like, I burned all the bridges in Tigers, maybe even Dawson. So there might not be a even point of trying to like want to work with them. And I was like,
Yeah.
I definitely was trying to be a little bit assertive at tribal. I was like making it very obvious, like, guys, you need to vote. You haven't done anything. I was whispering to MJ next to me. People were yelling at me across the room. So it just didn't work out very well for
Yeah.
me overall. I guess like I think my initial five were cool with me, but
Hmm.
the more and more I did it, the more it made me seem like more of a target. So overall, like it definitely painted a big like red X on my back for sure.
Yeah. Do you think that was kind of the turning point for your game where, hey, you were climbing, you were in an awesome position in that Guiana Alliance. You pulled through in that tribe swap, and then kind of that's where you hit your climax, and then it started dipping there.
Yes, I would think so in a sense. Yeah, I think I still had a pretty good. No, you're right. Yeah, I think it started. I think it started to decline after that a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to think about it a little bit more. Yeah, yeah. That was definitely like I was like I think I was like number one in the totem pole at that point. But then like I started making some poor moves, and I was chipping down a little bit
Yeah.
towards the end. I think there was some things I could have done to recover myself
For
eventually.
sure.
I was really digging a pretty deep hole for some of the
Yeah.
next moves I was making. Yeah.
Well, hey, speaking of the hole
Oh
being dug deeper, we go into that idol hunt,
yeah.
which is madness right after the challenge. Everyone's
Yeah.
sprinting over, production sprinting over so that we can film it. Uh, First, I want to say, how did it feel when you saw it back, and saw how close you were to finding that? You literally looked under that exact bench. I was
I
up there
know.
at the top getting that shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Believe it or not, I actually had my hand on it apparently because Grace had told me this because Grace was filming it and I had like
Yeah,
felt on the right hand side, nothing there. And I felt on the left side and I felt this little string and I pulled it and I was like, oh crap, maybe someone found the idol already. And I just didn't think about looking under. I don't know. It was heartbreaking seeing that because that
yeah,
was the idol that got me out eventually. So little, foreshadowing there. But
yeah,
it like it's all like it's funny. Like it's just a funny like how the survivor
yeah,
gods, made it all happen. I'm just kidding, but it was funny, like seeing that was the island
for
getting out.
sure.
It was like a little bit like I was a little bit frustrated, but I thought it was. I honestly
Just have
gotta
to
go.
laugh.
I gotta go laugh
Yeah,
at it. It was funny. Yeah.
laugh so you don't cry. I
Ah,
love that. Well, hey, we see probably, in my opinion, the worst move that you made during the game happened
no,
then.
I agree with
The
that. Yeah.
fake idol, flaunting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, I think the idea was awesome. So, how do you think the execution could have been better to kind of um, make it hit home and actually be successful?
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't think it was a good idea at all. Like I shouldn't have done that but the thing was that it was a little bit different because at that point I had already made it known. I was like, okay, I'm not nobody in Tigris trusts me at all. Maybe Dawson. He's like my
Yeah,
only go-to. I want to stick with my Gihan trout as much as possible. So I'm gonna try this little fake idle trick.
yeah,
If it works out and they leave, that's great because then one of the five Gihan can find it. If it doesn't, that's fine too because they think that I'm the bad guy, which is kind of at that point in time I wanted especially Nate and Nicole to think that like I was the big bad boogeyman because I just like I'd already built myself up on this like pedestal in their eyes
yeah.
specifically. And so at that point I kind of was like, you know what, like might as well just go all out if I need to. But at the same time though, like I don't think it helped me out at all because then
Mm-hmm.
there was something, like Nathan and Ben started talking to Nicole and Nate and
Yeah,
they were starting to work, they started to like think maybe, it's not smart to be working with this guy who's running around like a maniac, carrying a fake dollar on his head. So I don't know. I don't think it was a good move at all looking back at it. It was really funny watching it. I was getting a kick out of it. I was
yeah.
cracking up because I thought it was hilarious. Like, I'm glad I did it because I thought it was really funny, but like it
It
didn't
was
help me
funny.
out. It was really funny. Yeah.
Well, hey, we saw Nate and Nicole really see right through it, and Nicole's confessionals were like, "You're full of crap," all this stuff. I would love to kind of hear your perceptions of the players left over in Tigris at that point. Kind
Uh,
of who threatened you, who was you thought was kind of like, I don't have to worry about this person. Kind of what were you thinking about each of those Tigris members left over?
yeah, so I loved MJ and Dawson. Like they were great. Like I was like, these
Yeah,
guys are so much fun. Like they're great people. I was like, I kind of wanted to work with them like a lot.
yeah,
But sorry, text. But I didn't feel that way necessarily about Nate and Nicole. Like I'm not.
mm-hmm.
I mean, this is all like in the game in a sense.
Yeah,
I didn't really want to work with them. They seemed kind of like they weren't saying the nicest things at that tribal council before, not just to me but to other people, and I
mm-hmm.
just had no desire to want to work with them, and so I was
Yeah,
just like I didn't really care at the time to like think about like fixing what I had done. I was like, if I'm digging this big hole and Nate and Nicole are thinking that I'm just like it's going big, like I don't really care because like I have no desire to work with them. But
work with them.
at
Yeah,
the same time, I didn't like I probably wasn't the smartest idea. I probably should have done that if I wanted to make it farther. Um but I did not really want to work with Nate and Nicole at all on that. But
yeah,
but Dawson and MJ, I would say I was definitely like I wanted to work with them in my heart of hearts 100%. And
for
I
sure.
think back in the game, if Nathan and I had voted for MJ that vote, or not MJ, sorry, if Nathan and I had voted for who were we gonna vote
Nate.
for? Nate, yeah, if we had voted for
Yeah,
Nate, and we had like one or more on the Gihan to work with us, and we kind of formed like a 5-person like freshman
Yeah,
alliance. Then that would have been a lot more helpful for me because MJ and Dawson were like bigger targets. So
for sure. Yeah.
yeah.
So hey, you move into that week. We kind of see the most integrated week that we have seen so far in the game, with Tigris and Gihan really interacting a lot. You have you, Dawson, Nathan, and MJ forming that freshman alliance. And then we have on the other side Nate and Nicole really trying to pull in Ben and Nathan.
Yeah.
And Nathan sits there and he said, I really believe that if I tell Luke to vote for MJ, he will. And if I tell Ben to vote for Nate, he will. What were the conversations like leading up to deciding, hey, we're going to vote out MJ?
Yeah, so Nathan had a lot of validity in that point that he made, because Nathan at that point in time, he was kind of like everyone wanted to work with Nathan. Everyone was wanting to get him on their side of the vote, I guess. So he was kind of like the top dog at that point. And I'll be honest, like I wanted to I was trying to think, okay, what's best for me after I did this stupid aisle move, and like how can I like get myself out of this and kind of get back to the top of this at the top. So I was trying to like think about what the best thing I could do is, and that's when MJ and Dawson we kind of started talking with Nathan and like want to work together. And I would definitely say that I was more. I tried to push more with Nathan, like, hey, like we should vote Nate and then work with him. But then Nathan would be like, well, what if they have an idol? Like Nathan actually, I think he was definitely wanting to work with him too, with Dawson and MJ too. But I think that he was, I think he did have a lot to say. He definitely like stuck his foot down a little bit more than he would have at the other weeks towards the end and wanting to vote MJ. But I do think that if I had said like, no, like Nathan, we need to vote, let's vote Nate, like we need to do it, like, and I was like very, very earnest with him about it, like I think he would have done it, but like at the same time, he kind of did the same thing with me, and we ended up voting Nate. But like it was my choice too to vote Nate. Like I definitely or vote MJ. I'm sorry, like I definitely like was adamant about it, but I don't think it ended up like working out in my favor for doing that. But Nathan had a lot of pull at that time, yeah, and I think like what he said in that game definitely went at that point in time for sure.
Yeah. So what was the kind of for you saying, okay, hey, like, yeah, let's vote MJ out? What were those really deciding factors? Because we saw MJ, she was a really great social player, where Nate was really lacking in that area. But also you didn't have the bonds that you had with MJ that you did have with Nate.
With you mean Nathan? Wait,
Nate, yeah. So like the vote, the decision between Nate and MJ. Yeah. So that decision between the two, kind of what eventually for you personally flipped it, like, okay, let's get rid of MJ.
So there's two things. One, the idol hadn't been found yet, and I had just figured, you know what, like, there's a really good chance that someone on Tigers has it because they're on the bottom. So I thought that maybe Dawson and MJ had it, and maybe they were telling us maybe they were trying to play us and trick us by like, hey, let's vote Nate, and then they play the idol for Nate, and then we're back. We're back, and then I thought that because maybe me and Nathan were top, like kind of more towards the top, that maybe we'd be on. And then secondly too, MJ was, if MJ got to the end, she was going to win. She was probably the most likable person there. She was super athletic. She was super nice, and she was playing a great game. She was just had a lot of control, a lot of power, and I think I was just ultimately like, I thought, okay, if MJ gets to the end, she's gonna win. Like, this is a good time to take her out. And I think that would have been a good move to make a little bit farther down the road instead of point in time. And then we just thought that, in my opinion, I don't think at that point in time, if Nate had gone to the end, he would have won. And so I just had thought that because he was kind of on the bottom of his Tigers tribe, it didn't seem like he was making a whole lot of moves where he was in control, and he just hadn't done a whole lot in order to basically, like, I guess, prove himself to be the winner. And while MJ didn't do that as well, she just was playing a little bit better social game than Nate was. And so we were like, all right, well, if Nate gets to the end, he's probably not going to win. If MJ gets to the end, he'll win. Let's vote MJ out. That was kind of like really the deciding factor. So we were like, Nate as long as possible, because worst case gets to the end, I don't think he's pull through.
So. Okay. So hey, you said that you do think that it wasn't the right move at this point. In this hypothetical where, hey, you vote out Nate and you, MJ, Dawson, and Nathan really start riding to the end, what do you think? How do you think the game would have changed and gone differently from that point? Just if you can picture in your mind, just hypothetically.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I think that so if we were concerned that if us four had voted Nate, that we were concerned that Nate and Nicole were going to vote MJ, so it would be, that 6 voting, or I guess it'd be that 5 voting MJ, so MJ would have gone home anyways, and then us us 3 would have been the bottom, me, Dawson, Nathan. So so I was thinking about maybe pulling an Alexa because she was like at that point starting to become. So I was like, okay, maybe us 5, so it could have been me, Dawson, Nathan, MJ, and Alexa. So like us 5 could have started writing it out. And at that point in time, I think us 5 were definitely like the biggest threats in the game. And so that would have been, I think, a good move for me because like I just had a big target on my back, and those people did too. So they would have been kind of like willing to work together to get out one of the players who weren't playing as hard at that point in time. They were, but it was like we just all had bigger targets on their back, So kind of like in the newest season of when it was at War, when Tony kind of got all the, what do you say? Let's get the hyenas together to get out.
The lions and the hyenas.
Yeah, exactly. So that would have been good, but at the end, like end of the day, I don't have any regrets about it. Like I think I had like a phenomenal time playing Survivor. I made so many awesome friends. Like I got to play an idol. I got to make it to the jury. Like it was just a great experience. So I don't like it. Definitely after, at first I was like, oh, what if I done this? What if I done that? But like I can't have
those scenarios. Yeah,
exactly. But I can't have any regrets. Like it hypothetically, I think that would have been a better situation. But at the end of the day, like it is what it is. It's happened. So.
Well, hey, so after this vote, we see immediately kind of the repercussions. Dawson is immediately very upset with you, specifically, not as much Nathan, even though you guys both were invested into that plan. I think that relationship that you had, you really felt betrayed and stuff like that. What was the kind of work that you did after the fact, trying to reel Dawson back in? What was that like?
I'm trying to think what happens. So it was after the MJ vote. So I think Dawson was like very upset because we actually had a genuine like relationship, and we had both like talked about working together later on and stuff. And I blasted him. I didn't tell him what was going on that week. And so I think I realized at this point in time, like there's probably nothing I can do in order to save this. I met with him one time. I apologized. I was like, listen, like I'm really sorry. Like you're like you're still like I want to be like really good friends after this. Like I know like it sucks. Like I blindsided you. Like I was just apologizing to him basically. And it didn't like really do anything. Like he was still really upset with me. And so I could have done more in a sense. I think I could have done more, I think, with kind of trying to calm him down, I guess. But I think he was more upset with Nathan because we had that like secret like alliance going on from week 4, and I had turned my back on him, I guess, in a sense. We just felt like betrayed in a sense. Yeah,
for sure. Well, hey, we go into that tribal council. Dawson had found that idol previously. No one knows about it until he tells Nathan and Nicole. You kind of get really weird, or Nate and Nicole, you get really weird vibes from Nate trying to get that vote split. And you eventually do get that vote split, but it's just a little, not the numbers that you needed on your side with the idol played. Nathan says, confessional in there, he really doesn't think anything can go wrong. Was that kind of your feeling as well going into the tribal, or did you have a little bit more nervous going in?
I was very nervous going in because I had that was definitely like a turning point of Survivor for me. I think if I definitely like had started to trust my initial alliance less and less, and they had every reason to want to like make it so it was Dawson then me, because I was just playing like a maniac, and I was just like I at that point or at least with the idol thing, that definitely painted a target on my back. And then I had made some big moves before and stuff. And so I think Yeah. Wait, what were we talking about again?
Talking
Hold
about
on.
your feelings going into tribal council, just
Oh,
like
feelings
being
going in.
nervous.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I said a total right there. Yeah. So no, but I was definitely nervous because we had all met up and discussed the vote, and I thought it was pretty self-explanatory. Hey, let's just put Nate and Nicole to the voting Dawson. Let's put 2 votes on Nate. Worst case, they don't, and it's tied, and then we can
Yeah.
just flip revote, and then Nate goes home if Dawson plays a not. Worst case, best case, Dawson goes home. Because why would Nate and Nicole not vote Dawson?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh no, it's fine. Like it's okay. Let's just vote. It's not a big deal. Let's just vote. Let's just put 3 votes in Dawson, or it's
Yeah.
fine. No big deal. And I was like, okay, well, guys, I'm gonna probably go if this happens. They're like, oh no, no,
Yeah.
no, I'll go. Nathan was like, I might go home too. I might go home too. It's okay. And I was just like, all right, guys, like, and at that point in time, there was nothing, there was no one I could have turned to. I had betrayed
Yeah.
Dawson, Nate, and Nicole. There was no way they were ever going to work with me, and that was my alliance. And but Alexa actually had approached me the day before. This wasn't put in, and she was like, hey, like, listen, I can put down Nate's name if you need me to.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to like jeopardize like her game at all, and like because she was one of the people who was going to vote down Dawson. I think I'm trying to remember, this is so long ago, but so
Mm-hmm.
because we had 3 votes on Dawson, 2 votes on Nate, and me and Nathan
Yep.
voted Nate. And Alexa said, you know what, listen, I can maybe go and vote Nate.
Yeah.
And I was, no, don't do that. I don't want that to affect my like our alliance and everything. That would be like detrimental to us. But
Yeah.
and that might have worked out. It might not have. I don't know if Ben and Nathan and Liz, they might have flipped and voted me out. I don't know, like if it ended up going to a revote between me and Nate. I'm not really sure
Yeah.
what the outcome would have been. But either way, I think at that point, like it would have been really hard for me to get to the end of that point. I would have had to probably win some immunities, find some idols,
Find some
because
else.
it
Yeah.
was just like I already put myself in a position where I had done like a lot in this game with playing idols and being like the leader of my
Mm-hmm.
tribe. Burning bridges with Nate and Nicole with the idol thing, and with Dawson, going behind his back. It's made a
Yep.
lot of moves. It would have been like, so I don't know what would have happened if it went to a revote, um, but I just was like, you know what, this is gonna be one of the first moves in the game where I'm not gonna have that extra blanket protection. I'm just gonna have to hope for the best. And it
Yeah.
ended up working out for me. But yeah, sorry, I don't think I answered your question really, but
Hey, that was perfect. Yeah.
I wasn't really I was definitely very nervous going to the vote. I think I said when I
Yeah.
pulled up, I was like, I don't feel good about this. I don't
Yeah.
feel about this. And then sure
Yeah.
enough, how it gets played. But
Yeah.
it was a great move in Dawson's part. Like I was like very blown away. I was like, wow, good for him. He need right place, right time, like
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, good for Dawson. That was really good. Like I wasn't like, of course I was like very sad and upset that I got voted out, but like I respected like the move. I thought it was
Yeah.
really like different, like a good idea for him to do that. So
For
yeah.
sure. Well, hey, we saw your game, Luke. It was a classic case of kind of peaking too early and then hitting that downward very quickly, sadly, in a couple votes.
That's a good moves though, Logan. That's a good moves.
Had some amazing moves, were
On
a highlight reel throughout the game. But I would
Mhm.
love to know, you said no regrets, but if you were going to go back and you were to come back and play again, what are some things that you would change to help yourself get past some of those weaknesses in your game and make it that entire way?
Um, that's a really good question. If I was to play again, I would probably not. I definitely say I put a lot of time into this and I overthought a lot of things,
Yeah.
and um, doing that definitely like led to some like little. I made a few like just it made me make a few certain errors, and so I probably step back a little bit, just not try to play as aggressive, I guess, at the start.
Okay. Yeah.
If I ended up ever coming back or some situations, so that'd probably be what I would do. But like I said again, I have no regrets. I had so much fun. My goal going
Yeah.
into the game was to not get voted out first, and then make some big moves. And I was able to not get voted out first. I accomplished that goal. I made some big
Oh, yeah.
moves. Join my alliance. I was able to, play the idol, get to the jury, make some awesome friends. That's the most important thing. I
Yeah.
said going like an open confession, I was like, my goal is I'd rather lose friends and win the game. But like looking
Yeah.
back, like I end up gaining some awesome friendships from this game that
Yeah,
I'm super thankful for. And winning wasn't like that's like nothing in comparison to like the friendships I made, the fun that I had doing it, and an awesome start to my college experience. My first semester of college, like it was so
yeah,
cool getting to do that right and go to college. And
yeah,
the day, like that's like it was a great experience overall, and I'm super thankful for you and Derek and Grace and all the production for putting this
for sure,
together.
dude.
Yep.
Dude, I'm so glad. Tell me kind of where you've gone so far from. Of course, you played that semester. I know you kind of helped out and stuff like that. Tell me what that experience has been like too, helping out with Survivor OU.
Yeah, I mean, so there was you guys had asked if anyone on the season one crew or whatever wanted to, or cast wanted to help out with filming and
Yeah.
editing and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'd love to help. This is an awesome part of my first semester. I want other people to have this experience too. And so I've been able to come to some of the new season trial that they're doing and help with the filming and stuff. And
Hmm.
um, yeah, it's really just filming, but like I'm just, I've been able to come to some of them and help out with that. And
Yeah.
but like, yeah, but there's a group of people that I've played before and stuff, and it's fun like seeing them and hearing their stories and their reactions and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
That's awesome, dude. Well, Luke, dude, you were nothing but sort of entertaining, man. We got our fingers crossed for Luke for All Stars. It was awesome getting to talk to you, uh, diving into your day and kind of hearing your thoughts as you went through. So we're excited to see you on the jury and where the game goes from here. We've got a new episode coming out this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it. It's going to be awesome. It just keeps getting better as the season goes on. Luke, any final last words before we head out?
Hey, I mean, this season keeps getting crazier. I'm glad I got to the juries. I got to see what was going on. There's some crazy things that happen. Stay tuned. And if you ever want to bring me back from this season, just give me the call.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, awesome talking to you, man. We'll see all you guys later, talking hopefully with the next person that is voted out. But make sure you stay tuned for Thursday. And that's it. Peace.
Peace.